don't remember what it was that convinced me. It was either the fact that my brother did it and like said that I think it was something like he gave some sort of testimonial that he enjoyed at least the first year or two. And then also like my parents were saying that I should do it for the PE credit and stuff, and that was what eventually kind of got me convinced to join marching band. And that was, again, like you guys said, like best decision, because even though like I hated having to go to those Thursday practices, once we got into band camp it suddenly became fun, and then it was fun.
For me, I just honestly joined band completely on a whim, because I came from Hermosa, so I had no idea what the Mira Costa like marching band or like band program in general would be like. I just played piano, so yeah, I didn't even know there was a percussion section until, you know, I joined front ensemble, and now I've been front ensemble for like 4 years and done a bunch of other band stuff. So
oh, my first impression was honestly, wow, that's so many hours of practice for marching band. Like, it's a lot of time, and like coming in as a freshman, I didn't really know what to expect. And I remember coming to like concert band and being like, okay, this is just like, it's the same kind of everyday thing as middle school, but like the amount of practice that marching band had was definitely like very shocking to me at first. But I think also like everyone that you meet is so nice. Like I stand by the fact that band kids are the nicest people I've literally ever met. So I think that because everyone is so nice and so friendly, it's like shocking at first, because everyone immediately is just like, oh my gosh, like nice to meet you, and like trying to like get you a group, and you know, like trying to hang out and everything all together. So honestly, my first impression was just like, wow, this is like a really fun group to be a part of, because everyone is so welcoming.
So I was absolutely terrified going into it, but then when I joined, it was so much better than that. I got to meet such great people like Manny and Jerry and Rick. What was the last guy's name? The mustache guy?
Marcus.
Oh, I miss Marcus.
Marcus was,
man.
Yeah.
That fruity guy.
Marcus
Oh
was
my
amazing.
god.
Whenever he showed us how to do that heel thing, I don't know what it's called, the Bula Tande.
Oh, Tandu?
Actually, it's Tandu, Jack. I mean, Jonathan,
And
come
he would,
on.
like, show us his feet when he was doing his tandus.
My first impression, well, I remember in 8th grade, I don't know if they still do it, but 8th graders at MBMS used to be able to sign up to go to a competition with the marching band. And so I did that, and there was only like 6 or 7 other 8th graders who went. And I remember, like after the competition, the band didn't score as high as they thought, and so we got on the bus to go home, and then the band moms were like, Carlson wants you like outside again to talk, and everyone was like, ugh, we want to go home, we're tired. But then he gave this like really good talk, and it was just about like being with each other, and like even though of course you try to aim to get like a better score with the judges, it's just nice to play music together and just like be together with everyone. And it was just really nice, and it really solidified me like wanting to do marching band the following year.
Yeah, my first impression of the band, I mean, I think all of us, maybe this is true, was the first day of band camp, because that's over the summer. And so I just got thrown into it because I was traveling all summer freshman year, and so I didn't go to any of the like July practices. So my first thing was day 1 of band camp. I was so incredibly nervous. I had been texting with my section leader and the drum major for that year, like over the summer, like trying to figure out where I was supposed to be. And I remember I walked to band camp that day, and I was so nervous, and like I was like shaking on my way there, and then I get there and there's so many people. I was not expecting there to be that many people like standing waiting for Mr. C outside the band room, and then immediately all these people come up to me and they're like, what's your name, who are you, blah blah blah, and I'm like so overwhelmed. But then like that day was like the intro day of band camp is like meeting all of the leadership and like getting a little introduction into music, and like it's very low-key day one. And I remember like being so nervous, but then like when we finally got into everything, I just felt like so like fully invested in it, and it was just like an amazing day. And I came home and I was like, that was so good, I can't wait to go back tomorrow. So yeah, my first impression of band was just like I was overwhelmed at just like how welcoming everyone was, but like I couldn't wait to go back the next day.
It pushed me out of my comfort zone. I, as a person, I like to be like the best at things, but let's be honest, like I do my best, but like in Guard, I'm not like a dancer, and I haven't been there for as many years as the other people, so I kind of had to accept that, yeah, there are people better than me on this team, but we're also a team, so the fact that they're better than me lifts me up, so I need to practice so I can lift them up too. And so it was that kind of changed my mindset on being a team.
I would say, okay, my perspective has changed in band because I honestly think it completely changed my personality. I was super shy in middle school. I had like my group of friends that I would talk to, but I wouldn't really branch out and talk to other people that I didn't know. And I think that completely changed in marching band, like completely. I think I'm super outgoing now. I love meeting new people. And I think like also because of the fact that we're all together for so long, the whole season, like you have to talk to everyone and you have to meet new people. And it's honestly super rewarding because you get to meet all of these people that you would never otherwise talk to. And I think it changed my perspective on just overall how I view like what high school is. I mean, I think marching band is very much focused on, you know, like we're all a team, we work together to try to accomplish something at the end. And like I even remember freshman year, like we all put our arms around each other, we were singing like Lean on Me before, you know, we had like the senior rec ceremony. And I think it's moments like that that really just changed my perspective of like the goal of band, because it became for me just to make new friends and meet new people and get to make some awesome music while doing it.
Like dressing up for the rehearsathons. I just thought that was really fun.
Emiko, your like costumes were iconic, honestly.
Emiko's costume legacy will live on.
Thank you.
I was thinking about this the other day. The fact that I know so many people from band and just like Costa classes in general, but it feels like I've known them since like middle or elementary school, but it's really just the past 4 years for most of these people. And one of the weirdest realizations is that it feels like I've known Finley specifically for a very long time, but I remember one of the first, I think it was the first Thursday practice at Costa, we were setting up our instruments, and then I bumped into Finley by accident, and I said, oh, sorry, and then I said, like, are you in the sax section? I'm Cole, nice to meet you, and then he introduced himself as Jimmy Neutron, and I was confused at first, but then I was like, oh, that's just his sense of humor, and then that was the first time I met Finley, which is so weird to consider that that was only 4 years ago. But it was, and it was really great.
The first award show that I was ever, and last, that I was ever captain for, and someone in Guard had like gone through the scores already because we thought they'd been released, and it's like, oh, we got last place, thought we'd get higher than that, and I was like, oh well, you know, whatever, like I'll go get the little plaque anyway. So you know, we stand there in that arc for awards, and they were announcing the division that we were in, and they kept getting higher and higher, and I was like, they've missed last place by now, we're not last, and they kept going. Finally they announced us as second, and I remember like my costume was like soaked because we had like gone through like rain and like a foot deep puddles, and I like just dripping all the way up to get that award because my costume was like ruined, but it was so fun. And there's this video of me doing the salute, and it's supposed to be the show where you're like super evil, right? So I probably should have like, bad guy. But I like couldn't stop smiling.
Well, I noticed like the Mellows had this little tradition where they'd wear pajama pants to Tuesday practices because it was like nighttime, and that was like a thing since freshman year. And I basically just became a member of the Mellow section at this point. But then junior year, I started doing it because I was like, I'm kind of tired during these practices, and it's really cold down at the field once it gets to like 7, 8 o'clock. And then I remember being like, you know what would be so cool if the entire marching band wore pajamas to a practice. And it became like honestly my goal for the last practice that every single person would wear pajamas. And like I even remember like Slater helped me a lot with this because he like texted every section leader being like, you have to tell your sections to wear pajamas, because we were like technically not supposed to be wearing pajamas, I guess. So the drum majors were like, guys, like don't try to make this a thing. And I was like, I'm gonna make this a thing. And so we got everyone, well not like everyone, but a lot of people to wear pajamas. And I just remember walking into Tuesday practice and I would like see everyone coming up the stairs in their PJs, and it was such a good feeling. And then at the end, like we all took a picture together, and like Paige literally framed it for me for my birthday because it is literally my favorite memory from marching band, without a doubt, seeing everyone together in their PJs, rocking out to Dream On, doing that company front in their PJs. Like honestly, it was such a fun day and such a good memory, and like definitely has to be a tradition that stays because it was so cool.
Well, one of my favorite memories was during just like some random practice on a Thursday, and someone got their flag stuck in a tree. So then Mr. C tried to get it down, so we threw a rifle into the tree, and then the rifle got stuck in the tree as well. So he like had to climb the tree to get it down, and that was just a really enjoyable experience to watch that all happen.
We got a PVC pipe stuck there too.
Yep. Pretty much.
There were like 4 things stuck in there.
Like we're sticking our like room cards to the walls. It's so like hot and nasty in there. It was so bad. We were all freaking out. We were exhausted. And Mr. CARLSON was down in the lobby with Carney for the longest time. And then he was like, it was late. He has a big day coming up. We have our competition. It's a 2-show day. So he's like, all right, if you have this handled, I'm going to go up and I'm going to go to bed. And we were all like, okay, Mr. C, just go to bed while 15 of us are trapped in the elevator. But it was fine. We were like, we get it, go to bed. So we think Mr. C is asleep, like, for the next hour. We were in this elevator for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And so we're just like, we're on the phone with Carney. We're just trying to get out. Then finally the elevator starts moving and we see the numbers changing. And then we're like, okay, Carney, like we're moving up, we're going up. And then all of a sudden the elevator doors open and Mr. C is standing there, all heroic. And when we saw that Mr. C was the reason why we got out of this elevator, we were all like screaming. It's like midnight, so he was like, shh, there are people sleeping, you have to be quiet. We're all like screaming. We all like fall onto the floor because we're so hot and sweaty and it's so like cold in the like little lobby of the floor that we were on. And Mr. C's like, shh. Come to find out, Mr. C tried to go to his room to go to sleep, but Mrs. C locked the deadbolt in their room. So he was locked out of his room. So he was like, okay, well, if I can't go to sleep now, I might as well go back down. Then when he clicked the elevator button to go back down to the lobby, it like forced our elevator to go up and he was just like standing there. There's a video out there on Parth's YouTube channel. You can see this exact moment where we're all like, ah! But yeah, that's my favorite CARLSON moment. Him getting us out of the elevator after like 2.5 hours.
Remember it's really quick, but do you guys remember when he went to like a dollar store over the weekend and he bought like two rubber rats with like beady red eyes.
Oh, I remember that.
Is that the one from the
At
percussion
one
room?
point, he told us that he put one in the color guard room to like scare all the color guard, and I just remember it was so funny because he was so excited about it. Like he was just so excited about the prospect of scaring the color guard, and I don't know. I just remembered him being so excited about a rubber rat.
So we were like tearing down like the stage from, I think it was the All District Festival, and we were in jazz, and so we were putting away the keyboard, and Dane like laid down in the keyboard case just because he's like massive and the keyboard case is small. And then everyone starts looking around, like trying to figure out who might actually fit in the keyboard case. And of course, being the shortest, I'm like suddenly in the keyboard case. And so they like closed it on me, and Cammy was filming a video of me like popping out of it, and CARLSON just walks over from across the stage, looks at me, and sorry Xavier for like saying this, but he goes, "Ainsley, get out of the keyboard case. I would never expect that from you. Like Xavier maybe, but never from you." And it was just the funniest. It was one of my favorite moments with CARLSON.
I remember freshman year, I barely knew Mr. CARLSON. Like, I'd kind of known him because he like gave me my Sousa and everything, but I didn't really know much about him. Didn't really know his personality yet. We're at like one of the first or second competitions that season, and Mr. CARLSON is not the tallest person, and I relate to that, you know? So he's standing in the front trying to conduct all of us, and we cannot see him at all, like especially in the back couple rows. We cannot see him at all. It sounds like a mess. So he's like, "Okay guys, I have an idea," and he like tries to stand on this like street pole kind of next to us, like this lamppost. It doesn't work. He's like, "Okay guys, like wait here, give me 5 minutes, I'm gonna figure something out." So I was like, oh, maybe he'll try to get like a ladder, like a step stool or something. So I just turn to my friends, we start talking. All of a sudden, I hear cars honking across this major street, and we all turn and look, and I just see Mr. CARLSON sprinting across this street, and he fully stopped traffic. Like there was no like gap for him to go. Like he had to stop like 15-20 cars to sprint across the street. And then there's like this private community, like private house community there. All their lights are off, and suddenly he starts scaling this wall. Like this is a brick wall. I still am not really clear how he got to the top because it was really tall. But I don't know, he scaled this wall, then starts standing at the top, and it's like fully dark, but then like the motion of him going there activates this light, and all of a sudden it's like pitch dark, and then you just see this light, and you see like Mr. CARLSON standing there, like hands on his hips, like looking like a full superhero in that moment. And I remember being like, what is happening? Like, what is he doing? And then like all the house's lights turn on because they're like, who is this strange person that looks like they're trying to like break into our like private home and like all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, guys, we're going for it. Like we're going all the way. And he's like, I'm going to conduct from across the street. So then he starts conducting, and like a lot of the juniors and seniors honestly acted like it was completely normal that he was doing that. And I was just like so confused. I remember being like in shock, like, is this normal for him to be doing? But it was so funny. And I remember like even then just being like, this is like, that perfectly sums up his personality, honestly. Like that man is willing to run across a street, stop traffic, scale a wall to conduct us for our warm-up for number 0, to conduct us like 15 minutes before we go play our show.
A quality of CARLSON that makes band fun, like consistently, is the fact that he will always try to participate with you. If you're running laps, he will run laps too. If you're doing push-ups, he'll get on the ground and do push-ups too. And one year during band, I think it was my junior year, at the end of band camp, we were all tired. It's 2 weeks of like band boot camp. And so we have a water fight, and guess who joins in and is probably the most enthusiastic participant? It's Mr. CARLSON, and he's in his swim trunks and rash guard or shirt, and he has his water gun all loaded up, ready to attack, and he's running around, hiding behind corners and just squirting people with his water gun.
What I take away from band is just like, I think I met a lot of different people here, and like I've made a lot of friendships that I wouldn't have made otherwise, so I'm really grateful for that. And that's like, I think that's what I'll carry on from like these 4 years, are like the friendships that I've made with the other people here.
I agree with Haley. Like, I feel like it's helped me a lot come out of my shell, but it's also helped me in like other aspects. Like, it's just changed how I view a lot of things. CARLSON does a good job about just kind of talking about life, and it's not just about the music, and I feel like that impacts us all in so many different ways.
Like when he read the Caterpillar Pillar story.
First? Alright, and then I'll go after you.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, I think it's made me a much better leader, I think. You know, just like being, you know, assistant drum major and just being on the leadership council. Even though in the spring, Alexandra and I like have nothing to do. But in the fall, you know, like he had like a lot of expectations for Daniel and I. You know, like to lead the band on the field, so I think it definitely made me a better leader, because you know, like you have to make sure that like the band is like operating effectively, but you also want to be nice to people, because you know they're your friends, so it's like kind of hard sometimes. But you know, I think it's made me like more communicative, and just I like how I am. I like the person I am when I'm in band, because I feel like, you know, I'm around some like really amazing people, like all of you, and everyone in the band makes me a better person. So I think band has definitely helped improve me. So there's my serious answer.
And band has helped me manage my time well, because like the practices are pretty long, like they're at night, so definitely managing my time and homework with practice helped me.
The things Mr. CARLSON taught relating to like music and kind of more theory and all that has made me way more critical of the music I listen to. Like if I'm in the grocery store and I hear something that's like completely, you know, those radio songs that just make you like go, why is that popular? You know, that happens to me all the time. Cough, cough, Dixie D'Amelio. I have a burning passion against that woman.
Yeah, my advice is, and this goes for the band program, but also like Costa in general, like it just applies everywhere. But like in the band program, you have so many opportunities that are available to you. You have marching band, you have jazz band, you have jazz 2, you have indoor, you have winter guard, you have, I mean, there was a pet band at one point. Hopefully that continues, because that's a super fun idea. You have like random, like you have sax pack. You have like, there's just so many ways that you can take your band career and your career at Costa that you will not find like as easily other places. And so like, if you, I mean, this is a marching band too. This was my exact thing with marching band. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but it was an opportunity. And I was like, you know what? If I don't like it, at least I know I don't like it, and I don't have to go through life with any regrets, you know? And obviously that never didn't happen. Like, I loved it, and I'm so glad I took that opportunity, but it goes both ways. You'll figure out what you love to do, you'll figure out what is maybe not your thing, and but you have to like at least try it. Like, if you have the time to do it, because later on, college and after, like, if college isn't your thing in life in general, like, you won't find it. Like, just do it, because it's so easy to just like take advantage of it. So yeah,
I was actually thinking of something serious to say. So band has just brought me very close with my best buddies. Like, and not just marching band, because I know a lot of it sounds like marching band. You know, this is a banquet for the whole band program, but honestly, wind ensemble. You guys remember that wind ensemble? Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was like, I like became very close with all my band acquaintances, and they turned into friends. Most notably Ethan Nollander, you know, being in the clarinet section together. That happened a lot during the wind ensemble. That was sophomore year. Because, you know, Ethan, we weren't really friends before sophomore year. So, I thought he was going to say something. Anyway, but yeah, it's brought me, like, much closer with my friends. And also it's given me, like, really good leadership opportunity. That's a very valuable part of it as well. Like, just the amount Mr. Carlson, like, values, like, giving student leadership, like, experience, like, the whole application process he has and like interviews, and then finally like assuming the responsibility. And I think we finally got the leadership structure down with the different departments that work to like across with each other, and the presidency like being elected and all of that. And it's just given me like a lot of experience and like really good kind of like in a controlled and like very supportive environment. It's given me an opportunity to like, you know, kind of grow as a leader, like in that kind of controlled environment where the risk isn't super duper high. So like that's something that's pretty valuable, and like for anyone, like, so if you're like an underclassman, I'd say just like having the opportunity to be in leadership. You don't even have to be in marching band to be in leadership anymore. Just to like continue doing band just for that. So that was my only serious note of this.
Now, in all my infinite wisdom, this is some advice for percussionists. If Mr. Carlson ever asks you a question about should you be playing louder or softer, the answer is always louder. It doesn't matter what he's saying, what part you're playing, whether you're playing, you know, timpani or the triangle. You're always supposed to play louder. Also, everything changes in the auditorium, so. The
I
other
think that goes for every instrument too, yeah.
What happens in the auditorium stays in the auditorium.
The other advice that I have is, if you make a mistake, it's okay. You know, honestly, no one in the audience knows the piece, unless it's like a pops concert thing. And even still, they're really unlikely to notice that you made that mistake. So don't beat yourself up over just like, you know, I played a wrong note here, or, you know, I missed my entrance here. No, it's fine. The show goes on.
Freshman, you'll be surprised by how much time you have as well as how much time you don't have. Because, you know, especially with the year gone because of Big Rona, you know, I was a junior last year and then I blink and I'm graduating. And looking back on my band experience, not just band but high school in general, you know, I don't remember really the hours of practicing. I mean, I do, but it's not the first thing that comes to mind. I don't remember the hours of practicing, the downtime while Mr. Carlson's talking to the other sections. What I do remember is moments like playing Cherry at Champs my junior year, Mega Denny's. I remember No Way Tuesday, except I didn't go to that, but I remember seeing the after effects, like Tony almost throwing up after running a lap. I remember Juice eating the Amigos burrito. So what I'm trying to say here is aim to make memories that you can talk about when you're shooting the shit with people here, like when you're making your senior video. Sense of the S word there, pretty please. So aim for memories like that, because we've spent the I know this video is going to get cut down, obviously, to save time, but we've been, you know, just talking for the past hour and a half, almost hour and 40 minutes about just random band-related stuff, sometimes not band-related, sometimes chat-related stuff. But yeah, aim to make memories and aim to have a good time, because at first it's going to seem like you have forever your freshman year, but then you're going to look back and it's going to be a bore, almost.
My advice, take care of yourself. You are your number one priority, and a lot of where we live is academic pressure, academic pressure, academic pressure. But you have to sharpen your own saw. You have to take care of yourself and who you are, and that should always be your number one priority.
Enjoy the time that you have here, because not gonna lie, a lot of it might feel like a burden, or like sometimes like you don't want to go, or you just like it doesn't seem that great in the moment, to be honest. But looking back, there's so many memories that all of us here have like shared like with one another, that I think like that's been something that like I'll treasure, because the time flies so fast.
And it's gonna be over before you know it. So like really, if you're unsure about like wanting to try something, if you're like curious about something, just do it, you know? Like if you ever, you know, want to try out jazz and you're kind of on the fence about it, but like, you know, your friends convince you to do it, do it. It's so fun. And like now, like jazz is a huge part of my life now.
I feel like I would give like anything to be able to do like one last like field competition or like a real show out on the field. So I'd say like really take that in and like enjoy it. And also you can like, since you kind of know what you're doing since you're a senior, you can like relax a little. Like don't like give up. It's just you set a good example, but you can also like relax a little and just take the time to really enjoy it and be with all of your friends.
Honestly, it sounds so cheesy because every senior like always uses that office quote, like you don't realize you left the best times behind until like you fully leave them behind. But I honestly feel like that was semi untrue for me, because I knew like the entire time I was in marching band that it was going to be my favorite activity of all of high school. And I loved getting to meet everyone and go to Disneyland and do everything and go to competitions and everything. But I would say my biggest advice for seniors is honestly like next year, when you guys get to have hopefully a normal season and hopefully just a normal concert band year too, like just have fun with it. Like we've had 1.5 years of really weird band and of like trying to make things work, and you guys get to get some normalcy next year. So like have fun with it.
Pace yourself your senior year and don't overload yourself on classes or too much work. Because the worst thing you can do is stress yourself out your senior year and just not have time to do anything that's like fun or enjoyable. Because your senior years should be like your best year, and there are also a lot of decently okay senior teachers that I've had this past year. So just, you know, talk to some of the current seniors right now and get their input on which teachers, you know, you might or might not vibe with. But make sure you leave yourself enough free time to have fun with your friends. Enjoy marching band, enjoy band if you're gonna like really invest all your time into that, or even if not, just find out what you like to do and do it, because it's your senior year and you want to make sure it's really good.
I think that you should like try to get to know the other band people, because even like the ones not in my grade, I probably wouldn't have talked to them before band just because they're in a different grade than me. But now I think I'm friends with a lot more people because of it.
I was gonna say, also don't let all of like the craziness of applications and APs and just school, don't let that like impact you. Like make sure to take time for yourself, and like Haley and Jillian have said, like take time to just rest and like take care of yourself, because otherwise you're just gonna keep going and you're at some point you're just gonna crash and you're not gonna be able to get it all done, and that's gonna end up stressing you out a lot more.
And you know, obviously this year has been kind of weird, but I would just really like encourage, you know, all of like the incoming seniors to like really enjoy their senior year, especially when like marching band and band is in person and everything, because you know, like the seniors are kind of like at the top and they can serve as like a really great role model for like all of the freshmen and sophomores, especially. Like I remember the saxophone seniors when you know, like Noah and Finley and I were freshmen, you know, and they were probably some of the coolest people I've ever met. And so I would just like advise the incoming seniors just to try to give all they can to like the band program, because it will definitely pay off and with like the students that are still there to like carry on your legacy and everything. So that's pretty cool. And just to like enjoy being with your friends, and also make sure make sure that you're ahead of college apps. That really does make a difference. Totally. So the less you have to stress out about college apps, the more fun like you can have in band especially.
Like to make a shout out to my mom because she like carried guard for the past years, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, she like helped a bunch with like the super shows and with just like all the color guard competitions and all that fun stuff. So thank you, Mom.
Sending all my love to Miss Gentili.
Yeah,
Miss Gentili's the best.
Mm-hmm. And of course Mrs. Syed and like Mrs. Mukai, Mrs. Ferd.
All the moms, all the parents,
all the band moms. Oh, pit crew.
Yeah, that's
insane.
The dads too.
Mm-hmm. All the band parents, and then of course the instructors.
Yeah,
we would be just a group of high schoolers without instructors.
So I think like all of our parting words of advice would be appreciate your band moms.
Yep, they are the glue that holds the band together.
Pretty much.
I would say saxes, play sax songs. I don't know if they've been passed down to you properly. If they haven't, I have a contingency plan. You can just email me and I'll get in contact with somebody who has the list and who probably has sheet music somewhere. There is ways to revitalize it if the 3,000 years of tradition are at risk. But what's most important is that it's 3,000 years of tradition, and you cannot interrupt that cycle. So, if you need sax songs, and, like, you've forgotten them, you don't know how to play them, pass them on, email me, or somebody. My email is cole@vipmail.com, and if you are like an incoming freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, I don't care. If you need sax songs and you're watching this video, then you can email me and I will get in contact with somebody who can get you like the list of songs, and I can even try to arrange a meeting, like a Zoom or something with you, no matter what year it is. If I have graduated from college and you email me, I will still try my best to help you. If I am professionally working out in the field in whatever I do, I will still help you with those sax songs if I can. So I need to carry on this tradition. I think all the other saxes will agree. Just literally email me.
I guess I would say, we've heard a lot of, stories about, marching band and the concert ensembles and jazz and all across the board. I would say my advice is, whatever time you have to put into band, make the most of it. Whether you do 5 different ensembles and you do every single thing you possibly can and spend every single waking hour of the day on music, or whether you just want to be in, one of the concert ensembles and just play a little bit of music on a daily basis, it's definitely worth it. You can do it all, but you don't have to. It's really, you can find, there's a place for you in band no matter what you want to do. And I mean that sincerely. Having taken a different path than a lot of other people through the band program, I can say that it's been a really great experience just because I've been able to put in the time that I can, and I've gotten a lot out of it. So pursue what you love in band, and there's always a place for you.
I want to do like a major shout out, like a scream out to Ava Aguero, the only freshman who stuck by guard in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. She joined this extracurricular that she had literally no idea like what it was, who was in it, what was happening. Like she wasn't like a lot of people who come in with their friends and like stay with their friends. She was like, nice, throwing stuff, I'm gonna do that. And she stuck with it, even though there were only people who were older than her in it. And she's so incredibly talented. Like the way I keep trying to explain it to her is like, so I've been teaching her some stuff like throughout the year, and it's like I'm trying to teach someone French, so I'll go like bonjour, and then she's like I have to speak French, but like speaking in fluent French already. Like she has picked everything up so fast and with such a good attitude. Again, in the middle of a pandemic that I am continually impressed and amazed by what she does, and I know she's going to do incredible things.
Wanted to shout out Mr. C just because he's done so much for the whole band program and always tells us about how he stays up so late trying to edit everything we have or just working on new plans for a band.
The vast majority of issues that come your way are under your control. You just have to work hard enough to bend them to your will. If you have an issue with band or you have an issue with a person, don't complain about it, do something about it. Because here's the thing. If you just complain about it, nothing is going to happen. All you're going to have is a bunch of people who know that you hate something. If you have an issue, work hard, try to get into a position where you can fix that issue and fix it.
For sure. I'm gonna miss it so much too. And yeah, I think the biggest thing is, and this might be controversial, but Since You've Been Gone is the best stand tune. And if Mr. C does not pass out Since You've Been Gone next year or the year after or the year after that, you need to Slack him, talk to him in person, tell your drum majors every single day, say, Since You've Been Gone, right? At the football games, this is the sign, okay? Since You've Been Gone. Best stand tune. Best stand tune ever. Was it backwards? Is this right?
I don't know. Does Zoom show it backwards? Because I think it flips your video for you, but it doesn't flip your video for everyone else, or something like that.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Okay, fast.
Is it backwards then?
Yeah, it's backwards for me. For me, but not for you. Yeah. So, yes, Since You've Been Gone is the best stand tune. And if he doesn't pass it out, you need to carry on the tradition, okay? Because it came late for me, and Since You've Been Gone, I Can Breathe for the first time. Mr. C knows all the words too. He loves it too. I know he does deep down inside. He harmonized to it in class one time. So I know Since You've Been Gone is the best stand tune. That's all. Also, I'm gonna miss my mellophone so much. Love you.
Yeah.
Should we say bye on 3?
Yeah, we should say bye.
Okay.
No, we should count off.
Okay. 1.
5, 6.
Oh.
5, 6, 7, 8. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, gamers.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Sayonara.
Can we get this started? Like, my bedtime is coming up, please. Can we please just get this started? All right.
Okay, is this going to be on the test?
No. You already get an A, Cole.
Sweet.
What does a frog say when he washes windows?
What does he say?
Rub it, rub it, rub it.
Go on, Jack! Yeah!
To be real with you, I joined because of Armand. He wasn't there yet, but I joined because of Armand.
Okay.
That should be the only part from this meeting that you put in the video.
Yes.
My favorite films.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
I tried to watch Avatar in my AP Lit class, but they voted to watch Legally Blonde instead.
Really?
What?
Yeah.